One of the lyrics said cause. What's the meaning of this word?
Because, ¿por qué?
Exactly. You're going to find sometimes these words over here. Maybe you are going to write cause, and these are just abbreviations of this word because. When you're answering to a question, right, you always use because. When you're saying why, you can use this one. Because would be like the more formal word to answer to a question, but mainly when we're talking, we're going to use any of these abbreviations. You can use cause or cus. Both mean the same, but it's just a shorter way to pronounce this word when we're speaking, especially in songs. And when you're talking with somebody else, you're going to see these words. Sí, significan exactamente lo mismo, pero son formas abreviadas de la misma palabra que se utilizan especialmente en el idioma hablado, ¿no? O en un idioma informal. It's similar to gonna or wanna, that are abbreviations and that are very, very common when we're talking. Okay, guys, I hope you have enjoyed the song, even though you couldn't completely on your own. And let's begin with what we have for today. As I was telling you guys, we are going to cover Unit 3, Lesson D. And this means that today we will be writing about something. This is going to be the last part of the 3 units we have before your midterm exam. So let's begin. Here we have some of the goals we will achieve at the end of the class. And the main goal or the main objective is that you learn to describe the time using specific words when you are writing about someone else's life, okay? You're going to see how. Let's begin with some questions, guys. Here we have 2 questions. How much do you know about the past generations of your family? And do you know more about your mother's or your father's side of the family, and why? So think about these questions. Vamos a pensar en estas 2 preguntas, ¿sí? How much do you know about the past generations of your family? ¿Qué tanto sabemos del pasado de nuestra familia? ¿Sí? De las generaciones pasadas. ¿Qué conocemos de las generaciones pasadas de nuestra familia? Do you know more about your mother's or maybe your father's sides of the family? ¿Sí? ¿De quién sabemos más? ¿Del lado de nuestros papás, de nuestro padre, del lado de nuestra madre? ¿De qué lado de la familia tenemos mayor conocimiento? Tell me, guys. How much do you know about the past of your family? Let's see. Can you tell me what do you know about the past of your family, Michael Rodriguez? How much do you know about the past generations of your family?
Hi, teacher. I know what the basic information. For example, I know that my family I visit museums all the years.
Okay.
And or traditional activities, no more.
Okay, good. So let's see, what do you know about the past generations of your family, Eduarda? Eduarda?
Yes, teacher. Hello, teacher. I know more about the past of my mother family, but I know same basic things.
Okay, you can answer some basic information. For example, where are they from? I think.
My grandfather is from Karanki.
Mhm. So you know some basic information about your family, right? So let me see. How much do you know about the past of your family, Javi?
Hi, teacher. ¿Cómo se dice? A ver, I know very little about my family past. I know that my grandmother lived in the countryside. She had different animals. Eh, por ejemplo, cows, creo que es vacas, no sé. No sé cómo se dice, borregos, gallinas, caballos y así.
Okay, she had a lot of these animals like cows, chickens, and hens, and rabbits and stuff. Okay. So good, you know some basic information. At least you know the information, I think, of your grandparents, which is good. So it's always good to know where we come from, right? Sí, siempre es bueno saber de dónde venimos. ¿Cuál es la historia que nos antecede? So what happened with our parents? What happened with our grandparents, right? Try to be curious, guys. If you don't have this information, go to your grandparents' house if you have them still alive and ask them. Ask your mother, ask your father about this information. So it's always nice to continue with the story of the family and keep transmitting that information to the future generations. Siempre es bueno saber cómo, de dónde venimos, ¿no? ¿Qué hacían nuestros antecesores? ¿Qué hacían nuestros abuelitos? ¿Cómo se conocieron? And so on. Sí, toda esa historia. So in my case, for example, I know the story of my great-great-grandparents. So there's a lot of history over there. Sí. En mi caso, sí, siempre fui curiosa, así que siempre, thanks God, alcancé a preguntar toda esa información antes de que mis abuelitos partieran de este mundo, así que sí sé bastante de información de la familia, ¿no? So keep in mind that, guys, as a advice, go to your grandparents or to your parents' place and ask them about this. Pregunten cómo se conocieron sus papás, cómo se conocieron sus abuelitos. Maybe you have a surprise. Okay, guys. So talking about family, as we were discussing this unit about relationships, today we're going to listen a short story about some relatives. Sí, vamos a escuchar una historia sobre unos familiares. Your mission, guys, is to guess whose relatives are they talking about. See, you're going to listen to Brian and Susie. Vamos a escuchar a dos chicos hablar de su familia. Su misión va a ser averiguar de qué familiares están hablando, a qué familiares se refieren, ¿sí? So the word relatives means familiar, ¿no? ¿Qué miembro de la familia? Let's begin then, guys. Pay attention to the record and then you tell me who are they talking about.
Track 1.53.
It's a shame we don't know much about our grandfather, isn't it? Mom used to love talking about him and Grandma. She always used to tell so many interesting stories about them. But I've got no idea where or when they met.
Yeah. Well, I know he was born in England.
Who, Granddad? Yes, I know. And he wanted to go out and see the world, didn't he? That's why he went to train as a chef, so he could get work on a ship.
What kind of ship?
Cruise ships. And that was before the war. Sometime in the 1930s.
Oh, right.
He loved traveling, and that was the best way to see the world if you didn't have a lot of money back then.
So, how did he meet Gran? She was a nurse, wasn't she? And how did they both end up in Canada?
I don't know. I guess we'll have to do some research.
Okay, guys, so what are they talking about? Who are they talking about? ¿De quién están hablando?
Grandfather.
Okay. They are talking about their grandfather and also about their grandmother, their granny. So let's see, guys. What were they talking about their grandparents? ¿De qué más hablaban de los abuelitos? There was some extra information. Why they were talking about them? ¿Por qué estaban hablando de los abuelitos? ¿De qué querían saber de los abuelitos?
When they meet.
When they met, exactly. They wanted to know when they met each other, right? Querían saber exactamente cuándo se conocieron los abuelitos. So they are not so sure about these. That's why they were asking some information, right? No estaban seguros de cuándo ni dónde se conocieron los abuelitos. Entonces, they say something interesting. They say, we have to make a research, right? Tenemos que hacer una investigación entonces. So, to see what happened with this story, you're going to help me reading an email, a short email, very, very short email. So you're going to help me reading this email and we're going to find some new words over here, okay? So let me move the book so everybody can see the email. Let's make it a little bit bigger. And I'm going to ask some of you to help me reading this email, okay? So pay attention, guys. Vamos a leer el mail de los abuelitos. Can you please help me reading the first part? I mean this part. I'm going to ask this time to Santi. Are you there?
Yes, teacher.
Help me reading, please.
Hi, Susie. I've done a bit of investigating about Grand and Granddad and how they ended up living in Canada. I told you that Granddad worked as a chef on cruise ships from 1937 until 1939, when World War II started. And you know that while he was working on one of the ships, he met Grant. She was the ship's nurse.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Santi. So here we have the answer, right? I've done a bit of investigating about Gran and Granddad. Sí, estuve investigando sobre el abuelito y la abuelita and how they end up living in Canada. So what's the meaning of this, end up? According to the text, what?
Tal vez.
Ajá, sí, terminar estaría bien. ¿Cómo terminaron viviendo en Canadá, no? ¿Cómo terminaron en este caso viviendo en Canadá? Good. I told you that Granddad worked as a chef on a cruise ship. Sí, te dije que el abuelito no trabajaba como chef. ¿En dónde? What's a cruise ship?
Crucero.
En un crucero, exacto. We're talking about those big boats, right? En un crucero. From 1937 until 1939. ¿A qué se refieren estas dos palabras que tenemos aquí, chicos? Can you tell me this from and until?
Desde y hasta.
Muy bien, desde y hasta. Eso significa que vamos a ocupar o vamos a comparar específicamente dos momentos, ¿sí? Dos unidades de tiempo, en este caso años, ¿no? Desde tal año hasta tal año, ¿no? Desde y hasta, muy bien. When World War II started, cuando empezó la Segunda Guerra Mundial, ¿no es cierto? And you know that while he was working on one of these ships, he met Gran. She was the nurse ship. ¿Cuál era la profesión de la abuelita entonces?
Enfermera.
Yes, she's a nurse. What a beautiful nails I can see from Katie's baby. Okay, let me move to the next. Hi, little girl. Ya quiere aprender inglés, la compañerita de Katy. She wants to show us her beautiful nails also. So let's move to the second part of the story, guys. You told me the granny was a nurse, right? La abuelita era enfermera en el mismo crucero. So let's see what happens next. Vamos a ver qué pasó después con estos abuelitos. Marcelito, help me reading part 2.
Okay, teacher. Well, apparently that ship's destination was Vancouver. When the ships arrived, they spent a couple of days there. That's when Grandad proposed to Gran, and she said yes. During their stay in Vancouver, they decided that they really liked the city and that they will start a new life in Canada.
Thank you so much. So the ship's destination was Vancouver, right? Parece que al parecer el destino final de este crucero era llegar a Vancouver. When the ship arrived, they spent a couple of days there. What's the meaning of this word, guys?
Par de
Un par
días.
de días.
Ellos pasaron un par de días ahí en Vancouver, ¿no? That's when Granddad proposed to Grand. What does it mean? Ahí fue cuando el abuelito, ¿qué hizo?
Propuso.
Le propuso matrimonio, ¿no? En este caso, el proposed to Gran means to propose her marriage. Sí, le propuso matrimonio a la abuelita. And she said yes. La abuelita dijo que sí, ¿no? During their stay in Vancouver, they decided they really liked the city and that they would start a new life in Canada. Sí, les gustó la ciudad y decidieron quedarse a vivir ahí, empezar su vida en Canadá. Good, guys. Let's move and see what happened next. Vamos a ver qué pasó después con estos abuelitos. Can you help me reading, please, Kathy? However, the microphone. No te escucho, Katy.
Se cortó, teacher, no escuché, sorry. A ver.
However,
I started and Granddad had to go back to England and join the British Army. Meanwhile, Gran stayed in Canada because it was much safer. They were separate for 5 years and miss each other very much. Gran was kept lonely at first, but after a couple of months, she got a job in a hospital and she made friends there. She was always very friendly and good at talking to people.
Excellent, thank you. So, however the word started, Granddad had to go back to England, enjoy the British Army. What do you think is the meaning of these words? What happened with the grandfather? ¿Qué pasó con el abuelito?
Tuvo que irse a su país, a Bretaña por la guerra.
¿Y qué hizo ahí en Inglaterra?
Estar con el ejército, me imagino.
Okay, you know the meaning of this word, army, muy bien, sería unir el ejército, ¿no? Good. What about this word over there? Join. What's the meaning of this join?
Unirse.
Sería unirse, ¿no? Unirse al ejército. En este caso, enlistarse al ejército, ¿no? Unirse al ejército. Le tocó, le llamaron y le tuvo que regresar a su país a unirse al ejército, ¿no? He had to join the British Army. So, meanwhile, what do you think it means, meanwhile?
Mientras tanto.
Mientras tanto, exacto. Mientras tanto, es decir, en ese mismo momento, pero en otra situación, ¿no? Mientras tanto, a la abuelita tuvo que quedarse en Canadá, ¿no es cierto? Why? ¿Por qué tuvo que quedarse en Canadá?
Porque era más seguro.
Exactly, it was much safer, right? Era mucho más seguro. Very good. They were separated for 5 years and missed each other very much. Sí, estuvieron separados 5 años. ¿Y qué pasó en ese tiempo, en esos 5 años? What's the meaning of miss each other?
Se extrañaron mucho.
Exacto, se extrañaron mucho, ¿no es cierto? Se extrañaron mucho. Gran was quite lonely at first. So what's the meaning of lonely, guys? ¿Qué significa esta palabrita lonely?
Solitario.
Estaba un poco sola, ¿no? Estaba un poco solita la abuelita solitaria al principio. But after a couple of months, she got a job in the hospital and made friends. Luego tuvo un trabajo en el hospital, hizo amigos. And how was the grandmother? ¿Cómo era la abuelita?
Friendly.
She was
Amistosa.
Very good. Amistosa, ¿no es cierto? She was very friendly and good at talking to people. Sí, era muy buena hablando con la gente. So she was very good at talking to people. Excellent, guys. Salito, can you help me with the next paragraph, please?
In 1946, Granddad returned to Canada and
Hasta el 17.
There you go, Salito.
to Canada and they got married. 5 years later, my father was born, and then 2 years after that, your mother was born.
Exactly. So Granddad returned to Canada in 1946 when the war was over, and then they got married, right? So just when he returned, they got married. Es decir, que tuvieron que pasar todo ese tiempo separados, los 5 años de la guerra separados, Y después que regresó el abuelito, por fin se pudieron casar, ¿no? They got married, so they had to wait 5 years separated, and then they got married. 5 years later, my father was born, and then 2 years later, your mother was born. Sí, aquí ya nos están explicando cómo fueron ya aumentando la familia, ¿no? And finally, let's see how this story ends. Vamos a ver ya el final de esta historia. This love story. Help me reading the last part, please, this time Tupac.
Yes, teacher. Grant and Granddad lived in the same house for 30 years. I used to go and visit them in Vancouver over the summer when I was at school. Would you like me to take you to see the house one day?
Good, thank you. So Grant and Granddad lived in the same house for 30 years. Vivieron en la misma casa por 30 años. And I used to go and visit them over the summer. What do you think is the meaning of this word over here?
¿Terminó o terminar?
Over tiene muchos significados.
Durante.
Exacto. Over va a tener muchos significados. Significa terminar, significa sobre, pero en este caso, cuando le sigue un periodo de tiempo específico, como aquí tenemos the summer, ¿sí? Va a tener el significado de durante. So in this case, you're saying that he used to go to visit them over the summer. Sí, solía visitarlos durante el verano, es decir, todo el verano, ¿no? Lo que conlleva o los meses que lleva el verano. Over the summer, when I was at school. Would you like me to take you to see the house one day? ¿Te gustaría que te lleve a conocer la casa algún día? So, here we have a very nice story about a family. Tenemos la historia de una familia. And they were talking about the past of their family, right? Nos estaban contando un poco del pasado de esta familia. Now, guys, can you see the pictures?
Yes, teacher.
Okay. Tell me, guys, which of these pictures happened first? ¿Qué sucedió primero? A, B, C, D, or E?
Picture A.
Picture A?
B.
B.
Picture B.
Picture B, right? First they met on the cruise. Si nos acordamos, primero los abuelitos se conocieron en el crucero, ¿no? So this was the first thing that happened. What happened next?
D.
Okay, letter D, yes. Poor grandfather had to go to war, right? Se tuvo que ir a la guerra. Look how sad this grandfather is. He's listening to music and remember to his beloved one. Good, let's see what happened in third place. ¿Qué pasó después?
Letter A.
Letter A, yes, the granny met to some friends, right? Good. After that, what happens next?
Letter C.
Letter C, okay, they got married, good. And finally, what happened at the end?
Letter E.
Letter E, exactly, they had children. Right after getting married, they had children, as people used to do before. Good, thank you so much, guys. So you know the story and the order of how this story happened. So what are we going to learn today, guys? We're going to see some words we can use when we're talking or using some periods of time. For example, here we have 6 sentences. Each of these sentences appear on the mail, and they are used specifically with some forms. ¿Sí? Estas palabritas que vemos en negritas las ocupamos básicamente cuando queremos describir un momento en el tiempo, ¿sí? Un punto exacto en el tiempo o un periodo de tiempo. So, let's pay attention to these sentences. Vamos a poner mucha atención en estas oraciones. And you're going to help me completing these rules we have down here. Sí, me van a ayudar ustedes a completar estas reglas que tenemos aquí en la parte de abajo. So, let's begin with analyzing these phrases. The first rule we have is we can use while or during before a noun or a noun phrase. Sí, es decir, que las primeras frases que vamos a analizar van a ser la 2 y la 3. Okay, these two sentences. Can you help me reading sentence number 2, please, Odalis? Ordóñez, are you there? Wake up.
Okay, teacher. Sure. Number 2. ¿Me escucha?
Ahí sí.
Yeah. While he was working on one of the ships, he met Grant.
Thank you. And Michael Lastra, can you help me reading number 3, please?
During their stay in Vancouver, they decide that they really like the city.
Exactly. So pay attention of what comes after the word while and during. Sí, vamos a poner atención en lo que viene justo después de estas dos palabras, while and during. So, which of these two, ¿cuál de las dos va antes de un sustantivo o una frase con un sustantivo? Number 2 or number 3, while or during?
Number 2.
Number 2.
Number 2.
Number 2, you say. Are you sure? Justo después de la número 2 de while, ¿qué tenemos?
He was working, él estaba trabajando.
He was working, ¿no es cierto? Tenemos entonces que un sustantivo o un verbo. Él estaba trabajando.
Verbo.
Verbo.
Verbo, ¿verdad? We have a verb. We have the verb was working. Aquí tenemos una frase con un verbo, es decir, tenemos hasta un tiempo compuesto, ¿no? Was working. ¿Qué pasa con during?
Ahí está el sustantivo, their stay in Vancouver.
Ahí está el sustantivo. Mucho ojo, esta palabrita stay, sí, es del verbo quedarse, significa el verbo quedarse. Pero en este caso, en esta oración, no está siendo usado como verbo, sino está siendo utilizado como sustantivo. Es decir, que el significado es estadía, no quedarse, ¿sí? Durante su estadía, es decir, sería un noun, ¿no es cierto? Es un sustantivo. Durante su estadía en Vancouver, ellos decidieron que les gustaba mucho la ciudad. So, for the first rule, para la primera regla, ¿cuál utilizaríamos? We can use
During.
During, before a noun or no phrase.
Exactly, perfect. So you're going to use during before a noun or a noun phrase. ¿Sí? Antes de una frase con un sustantivo. ¿Sí? Durante mis clases de inglés, por ejemplo, during my English lessons, I used to sleep. Durante mis clases de inglés, yo suelo dormir, por ejemplo, right? Estamos utilizando las clases, que sería el sustantivo. Let's move to number 2. We can use while or during before a verb phrase.
While.
While, exactly. Ahora sí, el while, es decir, mientras, lo vamos a ocupar siempre que vayamos a utilizar un verbo después, ¿no? While I was working, while I was studying, while she was buying, ¿sí? Mientras yo estudiaba, mientras él compraba, mientras él hablaba, ¿sí? A eso nos referimos con este while. Si el while va a ir acompañado, seguramente por un sujeto y el verbo. Don't forget about that. No nos olvidemos de eso. Now, pay attention for the next. We can or cannot use during before lengths of time. For example, 6 months and so on. ¿Podemos o no podemos utilizar la palabra durante antes de periodos de tiempo como por ejemplo 6 months, 10 years, and so on?
Yes, teacher, we can.
¿Podemos o no podemos? You told me yes. Who else? Do you agree? Do you disagree? What do you think?
Can use, teacher.
Why, Ronaldo? Why can we use this?
Porque para eso está el from y el unchi y el work. Nos ayudan a expresar periodos de tiempo.
Good, good. We're going to use some specific words to talk about periods of time. Cuando nos referimos a periodos de tiempo, vamos a ocupar otras palabritas, no durante. ¿Sí? En este caso, we can't use during when we're talking about lengths of time. ¿Sí? Cuando nos referimos a periodos de tiempo, no vamos a utilizar esta palabra durante, sino más bien otra palabrita, por ejemplo, for, ¿no? Que nos permite hablar de un periodo de tiempo. What about the next, number 4? We have the word meanwhile and over. Tenemos mientras tanto y durante, ¿no? Which of these two means at the same time? At the same time, and it's always at the start of the sentence. ¿Cuál de estas dos significa que algo se está haciendo al mismo tiempo? Y siempre la utilizamos al inicio de una oración.
Meanwhile.
Meanwhile, good. Meanwhile. Meanwhile means that something is performed at the same time. ¿Sí? Meanwhile significa que algo o alguna otra acción o alguien estuvo haciendo algo al mismo tiempo que otra persona, ¿no? ¿Sí? Mientras tanto, y siempre, siempre, siempre lo vamos a ocupar cuando iniciamos una oración, ¿no? Una segunda oración puede ser. Meanwhile, Gran stayed in Canada and Granddad went back to England. Good. And the last one we have, the last rule. Who can help me with the last one? Meanwhile or over can mean the same as during. ¿Cuál de las dos tendría el mismo significado que during?
Over.
Over, exactly, over. Over can mean the same as during. Good. Es decir, que las dos significan durante. Acuérdense que la primera la ocupamos con un sustantivo, la segunda también podemos ocuparla con un sustantivo o con un periodo de tiempo, en este caso tenemos una estación, ¿no? The summer. But you can use both. Pueden utilizar las dos como para un poco evitar la repetición, ¿no? En un lado podrían decir during y en otro podrían ocupar el over. So let's see how you do with these examples, with these exercises, okay? Vamos a ver cómo les va con estos ejercicios, chicos. Help me, please, completing these exercises we have on the right side of the screen. Okay, so tell me, guys, which words would you use for the following sentences? Which one would you use for the first one? I live alone. ¿Cómo nos quedaría la número 1 entonces? ¿Podrías ayudarme, please, Charlie? Help me with number 1. Wake up, wake up.
Until, teacher.
You're going to use just until? So all the sentence. Help me reading all the sentence.
I live alone until 1993 from I got married.
Ok. Charlie me está diciendo, yo viví solo hasta el 93 desde que me casé. ¿Cómo es eso?
Al revés, I lived alone from 1993 until I got married.
Exactly. Siempre, siempre, siempre que vayan a utilizar dos situaciones o dos puntos o dos periodos de tiempo, vamos a ocupar desde y hasta, ¿sí? Desde que nací hasta que me morí, desde el 1920 hasta 1980, no sé. Si hablamos de periodos de tiempo, ¿sí? Desde y hasta. El primero que va a ir siempre va a ser from, ¿sí? No pueden ir al revés. No podemos ocupar primero until y después from. Siempre empezamos con el from, ¿no? I lived alone from 1993 until I got married. Viví solo desde 1993 hasta que me casé, ¿no? Generalmente cuando uno se casa ya no está solo, ya tiene que convivir con alguien más. So, don't forget about this rule, guys. No nos olvidemos de eso. Siempre vamos a empezar con el from. Okay, thank you, Ronald. Help me with number 2 then. Andresito Tadeo, wake up, and help me with number 2, please. How would it be number 2? Tadeo a la 1. Tadeo a las 2. Tadeo a las 3. Menos 1 hora de asistencia, Andrés. Help me, please, Danny, with number 2.
I worked as a chef during the 1990.
I work as a chef during the 90s. Sí, trabajé como chef durante los 90s. Good. What about number 3? Can you help me, please, Erika?
I usually go abroad over the winter months.
Exactly. I usually go abroad over the winter months. Sí, usualmente yo viajo al extranjero durante los meses de invierno. Good. Let's see number 4. How would it be, please, Jairo?
Okay, teacher. I lived in London while I was working for the government.
Good. I lived in London while I was working for the government. Good. Y vivía en Londres mientras estaba trabajando para el gobierno. Utilizamos aquí los verbos. Look at this. Good. And the last one, Johnny, can you help me with number 5, please?
I had a job in Los Angeles for about 2 years.
Good, for about 2 years. How would it be next? Jean-Pierre, help me with the last part.
Meanwhile, I was planning to move to New York.
Good. So I had a job in Los Angeles for about 2 years. Tuve un trabajo en Los Ángeles por 2 años. Mientras tanto, meanwhile, I was planning to move to New York. Y mientras estaba planeando mudarme a Nueva York. Good, 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 guys. Now, it's turn for you to help me with some extra exercises. This time it's going to help me Jonathan. Me va a ayudar a completar las oraciones que tenemos a continuación. La primera, Jonathan, please. Ketama, help me with number 1.
Yes, teacher. He was a soldier in the army during 5 years.
Jonathan, ¿puedes leer la regla número 3, por favor? Esta de aquí.
Yes, we can use during before lengths of time.
Es decir, que no podemos ocupar el during antes de periodos de tiempo, como 5 años, 10 meses, 3 semanas, 4 días. ¿Sí? No vamos a poder ocupar during, esta palabra durante, antes de esos periodos de tiempo. Hay otra que ocupamos cuando hablamos de periodos de tiempo. ¿Cuál será?
Over. From.
For. Siempre que te refieras, Jonathan, a 5 años, 10 años, 20 días, 3 meses, 5 fines de semana o lo que sea que son periodos de tiempo, ¿sí? 5 years, 10 weeks, 4 years, 4 centuries or whatever, you're going to use these one. Can you
Teacher, está con su micrófono.
Yes, thank you so much, guys. So sorry, something happened with my internet. I don't know what happened. I just went off for a few seconds. So I was telling to Jonathan, did you catch what was the word we have to use?
Yes.
¿Cuál era la palabra que teníamos que ocupar?
For.
For. Can you read the whole sentence, please?
Yes, he was a soldier in the army for 5 years.
Exacto. Por 5 años, ¿sí? No durante 5 años, sino por 5 años. Thank you. Let's see, how do you do with number 2? Majo, can you help me with number 2, please?
Teacher, una consulta. Antes, ¿el while siempre va primero o también puede ir en secuencia?
¿Cuál?
While.
While.
¿Siempre debe ir primero?
No necesariamente va a ir primero porque while y when nos sirven para unir 2 tiempos. Es decir, que podrían ir al inicio de una frase o podrían ir en medio como uniendo dos oraciones cortas.
Listo, teacher. Entonces sería he went to India twice while he was working on the boat.
Good, yes. While he was working on the boat. Y él fue a la India 2 veces mientras estaba trabajando en un barco. Good. Let's see number 3. Rosaurita, hello, are you there?
He was in Italia during. Siempre me confundo porque aquí solo hay un año, entonces quiere decir que igual es durante. Entonces
No hay un año. Mira lo que tienes de aquí. Tienes el hasta. ¿Qué te hace falta? ¿Cuándo empezó? ¿Cómo dirías?
She was Italy.
From.
From. ¿Sí? Si tal vez tienen duda, miren lo que sigue. ¿sí? Tal vez por ahí encuentran una pista. En este caso teníamos el until. El until ya nos dice que es hasta. Nos hace falta saber cómo empezó, cómo decimos desde, ¿no es cierto? En este caso, from, as you told me. From 1943 until 1945. ¿Sí? Desde el 43 hasta el 45. Good. Tell me number 4. This time, let me see. Sebas. Help me with number 4, please.
Okay. She was in Rome for about 6 months. However, her husband stayed in Milan.
Okay, but we're not using however.
Entonces,
However.
meanwhile. Meanwhile.
Meanwhile, good. Meanwhile. Ya te iba a hacer leer la regla. Meanwhile, good. Mientras tanto, sí, dice, ella estaba en Roma por 6 meses. Más o menos 6 meses, ¿no? Mientras tanto, su esposo se quedó en Milán. Meanwhile, her husband stayed in Milan. Good. Let's see the last one. Let's move to the last one. Can you help me, please, Michelle?
Yes, teacher. From 1950 until 2 years later, he worked as a chef in an Italian restaurant.
Good. We have from, ¿no es cierto? Ya tenemos el from, es decir, desde. Nos hace falta hasta cuándo, ¿no? Until 2 years later. Hasta 2 años después, él trabajó como chef en un restaurante italiano, ¿no? He worked as a chef in an Italian restaurant. Good. Thank you, guys. So, to see if you got it, vamos a ver cómo les va. You're going to think about the following, guys. Think about any person you know from your family and write a short biography of someone you know. As I was telling, it would be better if you write this biography about someone of your family because you know the events of them, right? So choose who you are going to work their biography on, and you will have to make some notes and you will have to include the following information. Keep in mind this information, guys. Why this person is important to you. What you remember the most about this person. And what is the key, or what are the key events in this person's life, okay? So keep in mind these 3 aspects to include them in the writing you're going to make. ¿Sí? Su biografía, la biografía que van a escribir, la van a hacer sobre un miembro de su familia. Sea que ya lamentablemente haya pasado vida o que todavía continúe con vida. ¿Sí? ¿Qué es lo que van a incluir en la biografía? Why is this person important to you? ¿Por qué esta persona es importante para ustedes? ¿Sí? What do you remember the most about this person? ¿Qué es lo que más recuerdan ustedes de esta persona? And the key events. ¿Sí? Y los eventos claves de esta persona. Si por ejemplo ustedes dicen teacher, pero yo voy a escribir de mi hermano menor o de mi hermana mayor. You can write the key events of them as well. ¿Sí? También pueden escribir los eventos más importantes de la vida de sus hermanos, ¿no? Por ejemplo, when they were born, when they went to high school, or any other specific special moment that you can remember. Sí, pueden incluir cuando nacieron, cuando entraron a la escuela o algún momento muy importante que hayan compartido con esta persona de la que están ustedes escribiendo su biografía. Okay? Don't forget to use the words, guys. No se olviden de utilizar las frases que vimos hace poquito, ¿no? No se olviden de utilizar y de poner en negritas mientras ustedes escriban estas frasecitas que vimos. So, let me just make again this so you can have an idea of how it goes. Just in case you need for the writing. Sí, estas eran exactamente las que ustedes tienen que utilizar. Estas serían las palabras que van a utilizar ustedes en su biografía, ¿no? Para irme contando por periodos de tiempo ahí. Sí, traten de utilizar al menos unas 4 de estas palabras que tenemos aquí. ¿Ok? So, let me share the link with you. Déjenme compartirles el link para que ustedes puedan empezar ya con su writing. So, let me share the link with you. Do you have any question, guys? Dudas. Can you hear me?
Yes. Maybe the writing, how about cuántas palabras o cuántos párrafos más o menos?
How many words? Try to write from at least 100 words, from 100 to 120 words. Sí, que contengan al menos de 100 a 120 palabras. Okay, you're in 5th level and you should be able to write those amount of. De 100 a 120 palabras, chicos. Can you see the link on the chat?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, teacher.
Okay. Let me send you as well the link on your WhatsApp group. También les voy a mandar al grupo de WhatsApp. Once you open the link, you're going to see the following page, guys.